moment of reflection as thousands gather in Vatican City for a final goodbye to Pope Francis.
A USC freshman was arrested after allegedly pointing a gun at his roommate. We spoke with DPS about the incident.
A survivor's words take center stage at a Holocaust Remembrance Day event that blends history, music, and a moment of light.
Annenberg TV News is next.
We begin tonight with scenes from Vatican City, where mourners are gathering to pay their respects to Pope Francis. Hi, I'm Sebastian Soto.
And I'm Daniella Lake. Thousands of people are lining up to pray as the Pope lies in state, marking a historic and emotional moment for Catholics around the world. The funeral of Pope Francis is scheduled for Saturday at 10 a.m. local time. His casket lies inside St. Peter's Basilica for 3 days leading up to the funeral. After the funeral, the Pope's body will be taken to the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome, where he'll be entombed.
We love him. He was a very special Pope of Misericordia.
For me, I would say it's quite emotional. It's a humble, very simple Pope who has carried so many crosses in life. For me, is the greatest gift Pope Francis has given us. He's gone, but his legacy remains in our hearts.
We asked members of the Catholic community what qualities they'd like to see in the next Pope.
Everybody wants to feel loved, and it's the job of the Pope to make them feel loved and welcome to the Catholic Church, no matter who you are. At the end of the day, no matter what walk of life you are, whether rich or poor, sick or healthy, just like Jesus has taught in the Bible, I feel like the Pope needs to be that successor and have that teachings biblically to bring people back to the church.
I'm just hoping, the open, charismatic, joyful Pope. I just want that continuity that Pope Francis gave, He was the first Pope in the sense of me growing up, And I really do think that his joy and his charism is what, the church should be looking forward to.
In order to choose Pope Francis' successor, senior church officials from around the world will gather for a conclave that typically takes between 2 to 3 weeks.
A USC freshman was arrested by campus police after allegedly pointing a handgun at students in his dorm room. The incident unfolded at Parkside IRC. DPS confirmed the weapon was aimed at the student's roommate and others who were present. LAPD recovered the handgun from a safe in the student's room. They also recovered a loaded magazine in his car. The suspect is 18-year-old freshman Sufyan Kumis. We obtained these videos from his public Instagram account, which has since been made private. They show him firing weapons at a gun range. DPS is unaware of his motive at this time.
There was a delay between the reporting of the incident to a residential advisor and a communication to DPS. So, the case is referred to LAPD. They also participated in this investigation. It'll be further reviewed by the LAPD, and they will at some point present that to either the city attorney or the district attorney's office to determine what charges, if any, are appropriate to be filed.
We asked Parkside residents if they feel safe on campus.
I would say I don't always feel the most safe. That could just be also just being a woman, not always wanting to walk alone, especially at night. And then I don't know how much I trust DPS as well to handle certain situations. In the past, I've seen them not really prioritize safety as much.
It kind of caught me by surprise that someone would do something like that. Hopefully his roommate is doing well. It must have been pretty scary to go through something like that.
Kumis was released on bond. DPS would not say whether he was allowed to return to his dorm. We contacted Kumis and he directed us to his attorney, who was not able to speak as of this afternoon.
More than 300 college presidents and leaders signed a statement against government overreach and political interference. USC President Carol Folt did not sign it. The signed letter was released by the American Association of Colleges and Universities after Harvard sued the Trump administration. It says in part, quote, Faculty, students, and staff are free to exchange ideas and opinions across a full range of viewpoints without fear of retribution, censorship, or deportation.
Disappointed, as many of my colleagues are. We feel that the president represents the faculty, staff, and students, and that we believe the majority of faculty, staff, and students agree that we should stand up for free speech in general, but especially academic free speech.
Annenberg Media contacted the university about why the president did not sign the letter. We have not yet received a response. Tariffs continue to be a top concern for many Americans. Our politics reporter has more on how the Trump administration keeps changing its policies. Lucca?
Thanks, Daniella. Welcome back to Politics in Play. Today, President Trump announced that he is in negotiations with Xi Jinping to substantially decrease the U.S. tariffs he imposed on China.
145% is very high, and it won't be that high. It's not going to be that high. It'll come down substantially, but it won't be zero. It used to be zero. We were just destroyed. China was taking us for a ride, and just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
After raising the tariff rate to 145% on China earlier this month, the financial markets seemed to welcome Trump's backtracking. The S&P 500 increased 1.5%, and the Nasdaq rose 2.5% today in response to the easing tensions between the two countries.
Can you clarify, Mr. President, on China?
Yeah, we are going to have a fair deal with China. It's going to be fair.
Are you talking to them actively now?
Actively. Everything's active. Everybody wants to be a part of what we're doing. They know that they can't get away with it any longer, but they're still going to do fine.
Even though progress seems to be made, the tariff negotiations still leave America in a state of uncertainty, as the fallout of current U.S.-China economic relations remains to be fully seen.
If we credibly go back to pretending this has never happened, then presumably we'll go back to where we were before, having lost a few months of turmoil. If the uncertainty about policy, lingers, which seems likely, then the way to react to that is to postpone decisions until there's more clarity. For any given resolution of what we're actually going to do, the faster it happens, the better.
In remarks made from the Oval Office today, President Trump put further pressure on Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell to lower tariffs quicker. And that's it for Politics in Play. Off to you guys.
We are both very grateful for the support of Google, YouTube, and the Pasadena Educational Foundation as we restore and rebuild our schools and our communities after the Eaton fire.
Today, the Pasadena School District received $3 million from Google and YouTube to support students and staff affected by the wildfires. 3,000 Chromebooks were also donated to help impacted students stay connected. Google also promoted its new FireSat technology, designed to launch satellites into space specifically to detect natural disasters.
With sufficient funding to the nonprofit that actually will help put these satellites up, we'll be able to detect fires anywhere on the Earth within every 20 minutes. And so thinking about being able to help kids be the next generation of people that are creating that technology.
Most important is just recognizing the moment and adapting to change. There's the natural state of the world is change. So, our kind of message and our story is to solve ways to handle change, to figure out how to adapt to it.
This donation is part of a larger $15 million pledge by YouTube and Google to help LA recover from the fires.
Ceremonies and services were held around the world today in honor of Yom HaShoah, also known as Holocaust Remembrance Day. Those at the Jewish Family Service in LA lit candles, watched a Holocaust film and musical performances, and listened to Holocaust survivors share their stories. Attendees expressed the importance of remembering the slaughter of millions of Jews.
Being a daughter of a Holocaust survivor, I know how important it is, especially with the rise of anti-Semitism right now. It's super important. I don't want anything to repeat ever again.
Because there's a lot of people who actually deny the Holocaust. There are people who say that it never happened. So these are people who are still alive. We could hear firsthand what happened.
A new report shows the median age of Holocaust survivors is 87, a stark reminder that this is the moment to hear their voices.
Coming up, the California State Bar admits to using AI on its exam. We hear from a USC student about her chaotic exam experience.
And we take a look at a book club that's making a difference for Pasadena's disabled community.
Are you a fan of Trader Joe's? Hear more about the good news coming up next after the break.
USG election season has kicked off.
They have a huge game on Thursday, right?
Huge.
Prior to that, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
And a warning tonight about a massive storm heading our way.
We're live here at the Galen Center. What would y'all do if you had $2.5 million?
Music, art, and women empowerment.
And she put her stamp on Big Ten history. Those are men swimming like fish.
Thanks for watching.
Annenberg TV News.
You never miss an episode.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Thanks for watching.
So, live from the Halo is USC Annenberg's take on NPR's Tiny Desk concerts. This is like a platform for USC students and adjunct students just to perform and play their music for an audience.
The State Bar of California revealed that it used artificial intelligence on some exam questions in February. This comes after complaints from test takers about technical problems during the exam. A student at USC's Gould School of Law was among those taking the test.
I had to study for about 6 months and prepare, but it was a very messy experience from the beginning. I had some technical issues, like the first day I was scared that one of my essays did not save, and then the second day with the questions I kept having logging in issues. So like I would log in, start my questions, they wouldn't save, it would drop me off. I had to talk with the proctor for about 15 minutes, so I lost around 20 to 15 minutes of my exam.
In response to the backlash, the Committee of Bar Examiners says, quote, "Our commitment to supporting applicants is unwavering, and we will continue refining our approach to ensure a more responsive, fair, and equitable process now and in the future." The committee members are recommending the State Bar lower the passing score for the test takers who dealt with the technical issues on the February bar exam.
Welcome back to Advocacy in Action, a series highlighting organizations in LA that support people with disabilities. This week, we take a look at a book club started by a member of Pasadena's Accessibility and Disability Commission. Dr. Sharon Rogers has spent decades working with people who struggle to communicate. Her career as a speech-language pathologist and disability advocate led her to create the iBook Club of Pasadena in 2018, a book club accessible to people of all abilities.
There's a saying that goes, no one is to anything to be able to read and write. What? That means you're not too deaf, you're not too blind.
Diane Walker is a librarian at Pasadena's Hastings Branch Library, where the iBook Club used to meet in person before the pandemic.
Well, the library is the community hub. It's where we collaborate and we get the community together. So it's very important for us to be very inclusive.
The library provides devices like this one from the Braille Institute for people who are visually impaired.
And you just put it in here like that. And then you push. Some people can't hear higher pitched or lower, so you can change the tone. The speed, you can slow it down. I talk fast, so I like to do it a little faster when I'm doing it. And then here's the power to sleep. And if you touch right here, it has it's lifted so you can actually read the words with it. So you don't have to see to use this as well.
Michael Warner II also served on Pasadena's Accessibility and Disability Commission. He's designed a new logo for the iBook Club. New logo, same mission, making literacy accessible for all. Sports are another space where people with disabilities often have to create their own community. Next week, we'll dive into the world of adaptive sports like wheelchair basketball and wheelchair football.
Annenberg Media's Emilia Paz is live in the USC Village with exciting news about a campus staple. Emilia?
Thanks, Sebastian. I'm here right outside of Trader Joe's after they just announced an expansion plan that will open 21 new stores in the year of 2025. Luckily for us, we already have one right here in USC Village, but the plan includes the opening of 5 more stores in the state of California. The chain currently operates 581 stores across 42 states. The plans, however, do not include expanding to states without a Trader Joe's. The stores will open in areas where they already have a presence. Areas that are getting more Trader Joe's are in states like Colorado, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, New York, Texas, and Washington. Trader Joe's is calling the expansion plan a form of controlled growth. I'm happy to say that I contributed a lot of business to this Trader Joe's over my last 4 years here, so be on the lookout. See if a Trader Joe's is coming near you. Back to you all.
It's been a gloomy day here on campus. Let's toss it over to Kat to see what we can expect for the rest of the week. Kat?
Thank you so much, Sebastian. Hello, Trojans, and welcome back to Weather with Kat. I'm your host, Kat Yee. Let's take a look at our current conditions. It is currently 61 degrees and sunny outside with 71% humidity. Now let's see our 5-day forecast. Tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 69 and a low of 52 degrees. Friday will be cloudy with a high of 72 and a low of 58 degrees. Saturday will be rainy with a high of 77 and a low of 60 degrees. Sunday will be sunny with a high of 84 and a low of 63 degrees. And Monday will be sunny with a high of 86 and a low of 64 degrees. Now let's see this week's Song of the Week. I think I really kind of jinxed it by giving us all of these sunny weather songs over the past few weeks. So this week the weather's kind of all over the place, with lots of cloudy days and even some rain. So this week's Song of the Week is Taylor Swift's Look What You Made Me Do from her album Reputation. This week's weather got smarter, harder, and rose up in the nick of time. That's all for the weather. Kamyar, over to you.
Thanks, Kat. Choo choo, the 2026 U.S. recruiting train is not stopping. The Trojans snagged up more muscle on the offensive line. The stars align as USC men's basketball lands their own double R. And spring means rings. USC eyes championships in every arena. Find out which teams are leading towards glory next on Sports. Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Kamyar Moradi.
And I'm Dominique Williams. Get in, Trojans. We're heading to Green Bay. It's the eve of the 2025 NFL Draft, which means the football world's long drought before the draft is almost over. NFL's decision makers will be looking at the most unique talent in the modern era with players like Travis Hunter, who plays on both sides of the ball. Thursday's draft will feature USC's Woody Marks, Jonah Mohim, and Jalen Smith, who were invited to the draft combine back in February. From a class perspective, this incoming crop features a defensive tackle, safety, and running back among the top 6 overall, according to the Bleacher Report scouting department. Out of 300 prospects in their grading scale, USC's Woody Marks ranks at 137, Jalen Smith at 234, and Jonah Mohim at 179. Thursday's first round of the 2025 NFL Draft will kick off at 5 p.m. Pacific, with coverage airing across NFL Network, ESPN, and ESPN2. But hold up, wait a minute, we got some more gridiron talk. USC football continues to load up on its 2026 recruiting class. The Trojans has added 4-star offensive lineman Cannon Smith. News broke of his commitment on Monday, according to On3.com. The Denver native ranks as the number 47 interior offensive lineman in the cycle and the number 5 player in the state of Colorado. Smith becomes USC's 23rd commit in the class of 2026. Of those 23, 12 are ranked among the top 300 prospects nationally by On3 consensus. Smith chose the Trojans over Oregon and Penn State. In an Instagram post, he quoted, "I'm home, fight on."
Players demanding more playing time, dinosaur coaches complaining about roster turnover, and old gas bags on TV claiming this wasn't how it was back in my day. That's right, the basketball transfer portal is back. The latest bucket getter in search of greener pastures is junior guard Desmond Claude. In his lone season at USC, Claude averaged nearly 16 points, 3.5 assists, and over 4 rebounds a game. Sources told ESPN he entered the transfer portal just a few hours prior to the deadline. 2 more players in search of duffel bags full of cash are senior forwards Rashawn Agee and St. Thomas. Oh, hold on, just a second. Reports from Sacramento are telling me that a single tear is streaming down the face of DeMar DeRozan at the current state of USC men's basketball. But hold on, DeMar, all hope isn't lost. While former players are dropping like flies, the Trojans landed Maryland sophomore guard Rodney Double R Rice, who is a highly sought-out talent in the portal and has a strap from 3. Let's hope Mr. Rice can do his best Swaggy P impression and lead this Trojan team back to the NCAA tournament. Now it's the moment everyone's been waiting for. Enough about draft prospects and the transfer portal. Let's talk about some chips with the dip. Like a great white in the deep ocean water, the USC women's water polo team boasts a 26-2 record as they enter as the 2nd seed in the hunt for their 8th MPSF tournament title this week. Moving away from the surf and onto the turf, the USC number 25 ranked women's lacrosse team is going Wolverine hunting in the Big Ten. And unfortunately, I have some news. The final score to that game, Wolverines 17, Trojans 9. It's been a good run. Last but most certainly not least, USC men's tennis is set to take on the Michigan State Spartans in the Big Ten tournament beginning this Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific in Columbus, Ohio. The number 6 seed Trojans are coming off a 4-1 victory over Wisconsin. On behalf of all of us at ATVN Sports, we wish all our Trojan athletes a bountiful championship harvest.
All right, before we go, what do you think about some of the championship things that's going on with SC?
Oh, I mean, there's a reason I call them Great White Sharks, right? I think 25-2 is sneakily one of the best records that any of these USC teams have had in quite some time. So I'm looking for this water polo team to fight on and get some hardware, bring it home.
Yeah, bring some rings. I got a little cheap rings here from TikTok Shop, but I want the Big Ten rings.
Let's hope theirs are like nicer.
Yeah, that's why I said way more
ones.
nicer,
Yeah.
but go ahead.
Awesome. Well, that's all for ATVN Sports. I'm Kamyar Moradi.
And I'm Dominique Williams. Now over to Sebastian for upcoming goodies.
You can say that again, Dominique. Chipotle teams up with NBA stars Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart, plus designer Nicole Cho, to drop a new bag that's turning some heads. And welcome back to our Spotlight segment where we focus on entertainment news. Today we're focusing on Chipotle's designer to-go bags.
Chipotle partnered with NBA players Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart and designer Nicole Cho to create a limited edition to-go bag inspired by Chipotle's signature brown paper bags.
Chipotle's designer to-go bag is complete with a napkin pocket, utensil straps, and even a hidden compartment at the bottom of the bag to store your bowl. Daniella, are you a bowl person? Are you a burrito person? What's your Chipotle?
I'm a burrito gal, but
really?
I don't know about the aluminum bag. Like, as much as I love a Chipotle burrito, like, I'm not gonna be walking around with that.
Yeah. I don't know, you know, personally, they have the silver one, they have the beige one that looks like the napkins. I don't know, that might be my new bag around campus. It's a nice duffel bag.
The beige one does look better, I will say that.
And the top detaches and you can just keep the bottom for your bowl. I don't know, I think it's a great thing. I think I'm going to be walking around campus with one.
Well, you'll be easy to spot, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Are you going to be seen?
I think I would only have the beige one, like if
Really?
I had to choose.
Yeah.
And also, I heard you have a lot of rewards points for Chipotle.
Yeah, unfortunately, well, fortunately, but I have around 18,000. I have at least 8 free burritos waiting for me.
That's like an insane amount.
Yeah, hopefully that bag can hold all my bowls because there's a lot coming.
Well, you can let us know if you'd be sporting the Chipotle bag. Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Daniella Lake.
And I'm Sebastian Soto. For more coverage, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time. Good night.